the Tropicana Lanes in St. Louis, Missouri. It's the 7th National Collegiate Bowling Championships brought to you by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bud Palmer, and welcome to the Intercollegiate Bowling Championships. You know, this all began last fall with over 50,000 collegiate bowlers vying for this championship. They took the top conference winners and the top independent teams, and they met in 12 sectional championships. Then the top teams, the top 12 winners from that, both men and women, came here to St. Louis for a roll-off. And after the roll-off, we're down to our final 3 qualifiers, the 3 men's teams and the 3 women's teams. Now, the number 3 qualifier faces number 2 for the right to meet number 1. And our expert commentator this afternoon is a member of the Professional Bowler Association's Hall of Fame. He's a top bowling journalist. And would you believe he's one of the first early individual collegiate bowling champions, Chuck Pisano.
Thank you, Bud.
Okay, what about this, Chuck?
In the women's division, we have Indiana State, we have Arizona State, we have Penn State, 3 of the great women
all that,
teams.
But who's going to win?
There are 3 of the greatest teams in the country. It's a toss-up. Do you want anything else?
Boy, is that a diplomat.
In the men's division, we have Arizona State, we have West Texas State. Again, 2 teams that have been rated in the top 10 all year long. The big surprise is Hillsborough, the youngest team in collegiate bowling. Among the powerful teams, the key here is what team can perform on TV under this format in which they only roll 2 frames, 1 on each lane. The team and the bowlers that can adjust, put a couple of strikes together, are the teams that are going to win.
And that makes it very difficult, doesn't it, only bowling 2?
It certainly is. It's the toughest type of team competition there is. It's probably the only true team competition.
We'll be back in just a moment. As you can see, the girls are warming up for their semifinals. It'll be Indiana State University from Terre Haute, Indiana, to finish 3rd against the 2nd qualifier, Arizona State University. Right now, let's meet the Sycamores from Indiana State University.
Jody Wallace, sophomore from Webster, New York.
Leslie Hoggett, senior from Clinton, Indiana. Pam Henry, junior, Royal Center, Indiana.
Christy Tite, freshman from Evansville, Indiana.
Cindy Carvey, junior, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Roberta Denton, freshman, Huntington, Indiana.
Levon Garrison, I'm the coach. I'm from Clear Lake, Iowa.
And those are the Sycamores from Indiana State University. Now let's meet the Sun Devils from Tempe, Arizona.
Debbie Lister, junior, Walnut Creek, California.
Michelle Sullivan, senior, Springfield, Oregon.
Teresa Colts, freshman, Phoenix, Arizona.
Judy Shaw, senior, Phoenix, Arizona.
Patty Bowie, junior, Phoenix, Arizona.
Mary Passanelli, sophomore, Waukegan, Illinois.
Terry Nienaber, coach, Chandler, Arizona.
We'll be back in just a moment. There are the 2 captains. We're all set to go. And leading off for Arizona State University is Debbie Lister. Debbie is 21 years old from Walnut Creek, California, a junior majoring in economics.
Nice form, 2-5 lead. She'll try to keep the ball in the center of the lane, a regular pocket shot if she can keep it there.
Used to say sort of a Brooklyn hit, wasn't it?
50-50.
You're never 50-50 from Brooklyn. And she has a spare. That's Debbie Lister leading off for the Sun Devils from Tempe. Look at that enthusiasm. And now for Indiana State University in Terre Haute is Jody Wallace. Arizona State's very big, 40,000 students as compared to 12,000 for Indiana State.
Oh! Beautiful mixing ball.
The 19-year-old sophomore, Jody Wallace, starts the club out with a strike.
this ball isn't exactly a good hit. Watch when this ball makes contact with the head pin and it just juggles the pins around, and she carries. 7 pin is the last one to go down.
There she is, Jody Wallace. Now this is Arizona State coming up. Michelle Wallace. Excuse me, Michelle Sullivan. Gonna come in. Oh.
Tough break, Bud. That looked like a good ball going in there, and she left the 7-10. Either one would have been acceptable, but both of them is quite a shock.
Tough way to start out. Michelle's 21 years old, a senior, majoring in physical education. Good bowler. Set a new national record with a 210 average in a women's national collegiate finals in Seattle in 1980. Determination on her face. But that's almost that. That's hopeless, Dominic. That's fair.
Yeah, she just tried to get the 1 pin, which is what she should do.
Now a big chance for Indiana State to really jump out ahead. This is Leslie Hogan, a 21-year-old senior.
They have an approximate 13-pin lead. This can boost it to almost 23.
Oh, she does it. The Sycamore is off to a very fine start here.
22-pin lead. That was a difficult ball to describe. That ball went in on the left-hand side and sort of backed in, and it acted like a left-handed sweeper.
It's almost a straight ball, isn't it?
Right.
It almost goes right down the middle. This is Teresa Colts, 18-year-old freshman for Arizona State. They're down by about 23 pins now. Should they come in?
Ball just didn't come up. She leaves the 1-2-8. Key pin here is the 8 pin. She must make sure she covers that back pin.
She had a very embarrassing moment in bowling. She bowled a 248 game. The next game, it's hard to believe she bowled a 98. Did you ever do that? I wonder if Ray Bluth ever did that. Sure. And he said, yeah, with resignation. And she got it. Oh! First, a very nice spare.
It wasn't the prescribed manner. She hit every pin with the ball that time.
Who cares if they go down? This is Pam Henry. Boy, there's concentration for you. Just didn't come in enough. Pam can be a pretty hot bowler. There's a spare she has to make. She bowled at 267 at the sectional championships this year. Ooh, a tough break for Indiana State because they were way out ahead. It leaves an opening now for Arizona State to come back. That reduces their lead to 7 pins. On that, they went from 23 to 7. And we'll be back with more of the action right after this message. Tropicana lanes, as you can see, for the women's semifinals. And the Indiana State team had 2 strikes to start with. However, Pam Green had an open frame, really left it open for Arizona State to come back. And speaking of scores, highlights and interviews and all the news of the world of sports is brought to you throughout the day on ESPN's Sports Center. We're all set to go again. And stepping up now with Arizona State, a real chance to come back. They were trailing by 23. They now trail by 7. This is Judy Shaw. Good-looking release.
Yeah, she seemed to come on top of the ball a bit, didn't get enough lift on it. That's why it didn't quite reach the head pin. That was also Pam Henry's problem. She was the spare previously.
Judy's 22 years old from Phoenix, Arizona. She's a senior, majoring community and private recreation. Her highest average is 180. Not bad.
It's not bad.
Ooh, she converts that spare. And now it's a dogfight again.
They're happy over that one. Very close game. 7-pin difference, 10-pin difference. She lost 3 pins on the pack. We're talking about 1 mark.
Let's take a look at that spare once again.
She's going to try to cover all 3 pins with the ball. What happens? The ball doesn't quite come up, but she does get good pin fall on this. The ball takes out the 1, 2, and then the 1 stays there and comes and takes the 8.
And there she is, very satisfied that I don't blame her. Now up for Indiana State. It's their 4th bowler, Christy Tite, a 19-year-old freshman.
That was an excellent ball. She leaves the 4-pin, but it was a good ball. She did everything right on that one. That's nothing much she can worry about that one.
Like so many of the competitors here, they started bowling with their families. In fact, Christy started at age 4 and has a bowling average of 178. And her favorite bowler, Earl Anthony. And she has aspirations maybe to go on the Pro Bowlers Tour.
But we have some of the finest junior programs in the country, and they go right through the junior programs into the collegiate programs, and many of them go right on to the pros.
And Indiana State stays out ahead by 10 pins. Okay, now we have the anchor for Arizona State, Patty Bowie from Glendale, Arizona.
In bowling, the anchor is usually one of your better bowlers. It's not somebody to hold you down.
Well, she's rolled a 289 game.
Oh, boy.
Come on.
Excellent.
And you can see how she rolled a 289 game.
No comment needed on that ball.
Crank it up.
Fans appreciate this. Watch this ball. Goes into the pocket solidly.
ASU Thunder there.
Nice, smooth approach. It's down, good knee bend, good reach. The ball goes out 6 to 10 feet on the lane. Solid in the pocket. No hesitation on any pin's part.
There she is, very happy. Patty Bowie and her Arizona State team. Now the anchor bowler for Indiana State, Cindy Garfey. Hey! And it's still very tight. 10-pin difference. Indiana State clinging to that 10-pin lead.
Let's go, right now.
Now they switch lanes. Debbie will come up. She's on a strike. She can even the game with a strike here. Debbie Lister of Arizona State.
She started out in the first frame with a spare. Wants to become a lawyer. Come on in, ball, as everybody's saying on Arizona State. But it could have been worse.
Yes. She almost left a 10-pin. This lane seems to have a tendency not to allow the ball to go too full into the head pin. That's 3 leaves we've had of this. So I think you'll see the girls trying to push the ball up a bit more on lane 20.
But when you only bowl 1 frame on either lane, it's hard to adjust.
You must go to school, bud. You have to watch the other bowlers, and I think that's what the coaches are doing, watching very closely.
Very pretty girl.
That's known as saving the wood.
Long as it goes down, long as it goes down. Jody, good ball, babe, now. Good ball, good ball.
And
good
now,
ball. Double up.
for the second time, it's Jody Wallace getting a little advice from the coach, Dr. Levon Garrison.
Oh, be there.
Doesn't go down, leaves
That's
a
good
10.
ball. That's good ball, Jody.
That wasn't the greatest
Lean in,
hit, but
babe.
had that gone down, it would have increased the lead to 20. Now she must make this to keep this game even.
She had a strike
Keep her
in the first
10-pin
one.
lead.
Take time, bring it in
Good
now.
close-up.
Okay?
Didn't want to interfere with the coach then. advising Jody Wallace.
Commercial break.
She's been a coach for 9 years, Dr. LaVon Garrison. She's won her conference 4 out of 5 years, not a bad record. He gets it. And it still remains, there's 10 pins between these two clubs, Indiana State.
Mickey, go ahead. Hold up. Commercial.
And we'll be back with more of the women's semifinals right after this message.
Yeah.
It's the women's semifinals at the National Collegiate Bowling Championship, a very, very tight battle between Indiana State clinging to a 10-pin lead over Arizona State. Still is anybody's contest as we're going into the 7th frame.
Just 4 frames to go, and strikes have been at a premium.
And here we go.
Right now, Nick.
This is Michelle Sullivan stepping up. Michelle was open with a 7-10 spare in the 2nd frame.
She had a tough break last time. It wasn't that bad of a ball. She came in the pocket pretty good and left both the 7 and 10.
You like that one?
Michelle was a hair light on her.
And that will really tighten it up. And here's that strike once again by Michelle Sullivan.
First time Michelle bowled on the previous lane, she was a bit light. This time she made sure she was going to be high and tight. The ball goes down sharply into the pocket. Another one. All pins down completely.
This is Leslie Hogan for Indiana State.
Be there. Oh, it's there.
Peculiar ball, is it? But effective.
Come on, Teresa. Right now. Go get him.
And it's still a 10-pin lead for Indiana State. This is extremely tight.
I know it. It was. It was a beautiful ball.
'18-year-old Teresa Colts.
She can even the game with a hit here, bud.
How about it? Ooh. Tough break.
I'm sure she's disappointed because she's almost in tears. That was a fine ball, but she has to shake it off and make the spare because the game is very close.
Left
Very
four
disappointed.
Looks like this might go down right to the final frame. Whoever strikes out probably win it. Of course, they can mark all the way through. No doubt.
She didn't take that for granted. She concentrated, moved to the right to give herself a better angle on the pin, and just threw it beautifully.
Okay. Okay.
Sunday punch. Sunday punch. Let's go.
Now this is Pam Henry, and she was open in the 3rd. Reduced Indiana State's lead.
Pam missed a head pin last time. Let's see if she compensates.
Be there, babe.
She sure did.
Oh, that's good ball. Good ball. Good ball. Beautiful ball. Nothing wrong with that one, babe. That was a good one. Bring it in now. No pressure.
It's interesting to me. Look at that
spare.
concentration.
Okay.
That really is. It's incredible, Chuck.
Same old 7-pin you've always been shooting at. Just bring it in.
And it's amusing to me how excited and vibrant they are. But when they get up
They
there, they really are.
They
really
get right into the
concentrate.
game, particularly the girls. Look at that concentration.
Yeah.
Got this one. So the Sycamores from Indiana State still maintain
Way to
their
go, babe.
10-pin lead as we're going into the
Nothing
9th
to it.
frame. This
Well-
is Judy Shaw, 22-year-old, Phoenix, Arizona senior.
Knock it down.
He hit. Good foundation hit. He had a good break before knocking off the 7 at the last moment.
We got your work cut out for you.
That tightens things up a tremendous amount.
Okay.
Let's look at that again. Here it is. Strike by Judy Shaw.
Good strong ball. She comes in here, but she's going to be a little light when she hits the pocket. Head pin goes around, hits the 4-pin, the 4-pin and the head pin knock off the 7.
And now here's Christy Tight.
Brooklyn.
Oh! And it's still a 10-point lead, a 10-10 lead.
Right now.
For Indiana State over Arizona State. Coming down to
both the anchors. She had a strike in her first attempt. This is a very close game. Indiana State's anchor must do what Arizona State's bowler does right now, Patty Bowie.
As you mentioned, this is 20-year-old Patty Bowie. She had a strike in the 5th.
She can even it up with a strike right here.
Hey!
Did not come in fair.
Spare it up, Patty.
All right, they have a possibility of 184. What that means is that Patty must make this spare and pack 10 to force Cindy Carvey to get a mark in the final frame.
Come on, write it down.
Very, very tight game here.
This spare is the key shot right now for Arizona State. She must make this or the ball game is over.
Spare it up. That a girl.
Good.
Very nice.
This is a very important ball. She now has her fill ball, but if she can pack
It's
9
in now.
or 10,
Come on, fill it
she
up.
then forces Cindy Carvey to come up with a strike or a spare.
They have a 180 game.
Come on, Patty.
180 something.
184 possibility for Arizona State, a 214 possibility for Indiana. However, if Indiana misses, they'll only have a 182.
Come on, Patty.
All right.
184 for Arizona State.
Situation is this, bud. Cindy Carvey must have a strike or spare to win this game.
All right, we put the heat on. That's what we wanted to do.
Hey, girl. Look at the emotion here.
She must have a strike or a spare.
Here's the coach. Now here's the girl it depends upon. It's Cindy Carvey. Cindy had a strike in the 5th. How about it? It all depends on this.
She must make this split, otherwise her team loses.
Boy, what are her chances?
This is a very difficult split. She can slide it across. The odds are long on this one. They're checking the score now to check it out.
You get one.
She must have the spare. There's no way they can win without it. She'll have a 182 game if they miss it.
Yep,
Lose
gotta
by
get it.
2 pins.
There, look at the bottom of that goes. Look at the bottom Garrison really behind the girls. You might hear her say, yep, she got to make it. She has to make the spare, or Arizona State has won it.
All right.
Good try.
Hey.
So Arizona State comes back to win it over Indiana State, 184 to 182. Really an emotional group. So in the finals, it'll be Arizona State.
A lot of tears on an Indiana
Lady
State team.
Lions from Penn State.
Well, we gave it
A lot of
shot.
tears, a lot of emotion out there, but that's
I
all I love
really
about
didn't think it
intercollegiate
would end that
sports.
way, but
So after a very tight battle, Arizona State wins over Indiana State 184 to 182. We'll be back with the women's finals right after this message. Hey, let's get going. First, let's meet Arizona State.
Matt Brockert, Jr., Globe, Arizona. Scott Milne, Jr., Denver, Colorado.
Merle Sarah, freshman, Montrose, Colorado. Warren Eels, I'm a junior from Tempe, Arizona.
Gary Blatchford, graduate student, Phoenix, Arizona.
Jay Miller, graduate student, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Tony Maresca, coach, Mesa, Arizona.
And now let's meet the Hillsborough Community College Hawks.
Steve Stalick, freshman, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Mark Minozzi, sophomore, Tampa, Florida.
David Claridge, sophomore, Tampa, Florida. Scott Waldron, freshman, Wauchula, Florida.
Tommy Kreitz, freshman, Tampa, Florida.
Joan Burleson, coach, Tampa, Florida.
We'll be back in just a moment. Okay, first up for the Hillsborough Community College Hawks is Steve Stalick. He's 18-year-old at Tampa. He's a freshman majoring in business administration. Steve's highest average ever is 195. And Chuck, it's very important what selection of lane you take to begin with. I know that Hillsborough had the choice. Why'd they take the left lane, do you think?
That's because they want the other team to finish on the other lane. They're probably a young team, so they want to start and put the pressure on the other team to finish. It could go either way.
So the other team, Arizona State, will have the last one. It'll be up against their anchor man. Steve gets the Hawks off to a good start. I love the enthusiasm, Chuck, of this collegiate
Incredible.
bowling.
Hillsborough is the youngest team in major collegiate bowling. The oldest person on the team is 19.
Now this is Mac Brockhart, a junior majoring in physical education at the Arizona State. His bowling career includes a couple of 700
Arizona
games.
State is the 6th ranked team in the country.
In the future, Matt wants to own a bowling center and bowl professionally. Good start for both clubs.
2 solid pocket hits, not much in doubt. 2 solid pocket hits.
This is 19-year-old Mark Minozzi, a sophomore majoring liberal arts. His highest bowling average is 186. And there's a 10. Looked like a good hit, Chuck.
The ball came in a bit late, and that's why it hesitated and couldn't carry the 10 pin. A little bit more solid would have carried them all fully. This has to be a trying moment for this young man, shooting the 10 pin on national TV.
He's got it.
This could be the first of the key frames. Arizona State can get a strike here, would put them in a 10-pin lead.
And this is Scott Milne, who's 21 years old, a junior majoring in finance. Would like to become later in life an investment broker. He won the all events in the Phoenix City tournament this year. Did he want that side? Was he?
No. He'll gladly accept that. Incidentally, but Arizona State shot a .237 game on this pair to qualify for the finals by a mere 10 pins.
Stepping up now for Hillsborough Community College. By the way, it has 10,000 students located in Tampa, Florida. Is Dave Claridge Jr. is 17 years old. Once again, it's a 10 pin.
As opposed to the last 10 pin, this was a good solid hit. That one should have carried. He's a little disturbed. He'll try not to be too disturbed until after he misses it. I mean, after he makes it.
It's interesting. Dave started bowling at a late age, 17. His highest average is 190.
Whoop.
Oh, that's going to hurt. That's really going to hurt.
.21 pins difference now. Hillsborough trailing by approximately 21 pins.
Big chance here for Arizona State.
They can boost their lead to 30 pins, which is a pretty good getaway start.
This is Merle
This is
Serra,
the danger of a young team.
a freshman studying history. He's 19 years old. Big ball.
Come on, ball!
He's got it. Mighty happy group there of Sun Devils. And we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, there's Hillsborough right now.
No,
and they're
projecting
trailing
for
by
60 here.
We're on the air. Okay. Here comes Hillsborough, and they're really trailing. Okay. You see in the format, they've all bowled once, now they switch over again. I guess it's Scott Waldron who's up. Ooh.
Tough break. That was a good pocket hit. It's a 4-9. It's a hit that you can't do much about. The ball cuts in strictly into the pocket. He'll have to give this a try.
Scott's 18 years old from Wauchula, Florida, a sophomore majoring in business. His highest average is 194. Gave it a real good try.
Arizona State can almost put the nails on the coffin pretty soon if they continue to strike. They're now leading by more than 40 pins.
This is Warren Eels from Golden Valley, Minnesota. He's studying criminal justice at Arizona State University. But his team is still up by 41. Fairly easy spare.
It should be. The thing he has to watch here is the possibility of chopping the front pin, which is the 6 away from the 10.
No problem at all for Warren Eels. Congratulated by his Sun Devils. Now the anchor man for Hillsborough, Tommy Kreitz, 19 years old from Tampa, Florida. He's in his first year of pre-med school. His highest bowling average is 202, which isn't bad.
That's a professional level. If you can average a little bit more than that, you may make some money.
He really needs a couple of good balls here. Nice strike.
That doesn't do much for the score right now, but it should give them some confidence because that's what you need, the strikes, and they'll be switching to another lane after this frame.
And now the anchor man for Arizona State, 23-year-old Gary Blatchford. He's a graduate student, and his highest league average is 207. Good bowler. Can believe his highest tournament average is 233. Ooh, he was lucky on that, wasn't he, Chuck?
He seemed to take a little bit too much time, and then he pulled the ball up. Yes, he was lucky. He should have left the 10 pin with the 3. This should be what we call a routine spare, but in bowling, I guess nothing is routine.
Especially with that beady eye of television staring at you.
Both these teams rolled well on this pair. They bowled the final game of qualifying in this pair and rolled 237 and 245.
There's no problem. And that reduces the Arizona State lead over Hillsborough by 1 pin to 40 pins. So we're going into the 5th frame. 6th, correction.
This is where they switch over lanes, Bud. Now the teams will reverse the lanes and start all over again.
And it's interesting in this format, this is Steve Stalick who led off, and he only bowls, as you mentioned in the opening, only 2 frames, and that's what makes this format so difficult. You just can't get loose.
It's very difficult. You can't adjust. You just have 1 frame on 1 lane.
And Steve had a strike his first time out. His team really needs another here.
Good hit, good hit. Could have been. Now, Hillsborough's had 3 10 pins out of their 6 frames. With a little luck, 2 of those strikes could have cut the margin down to 20 pins. But in a one-game match, these are the things you face. He has to be careful on his spare, but if you recall, his teammate blew the spare on the left-hand lane, lane 19.
He says his greatest experience in bowling was winning the Southeastern Sectional Tournament. Solid on that one. And here's the leadoff bowler for Arizona State. First, he had a strike, Matt Brockert. As I mentioned earlier, he wants to perhaps go on the Professional Bowler Association's tour.
He has the proper shoes. Look at those sharp shoes.
Yeah. Nope.
Actually, that's not too bad. If Arizona State can stay out of trouble and get their spares, the pressure will be on Hillsborough to get strikes.
Oh, if they can get a mark all the way through, they'll be okay.
Then Hillsborough would have to get all strikes.
Mm-hmm. They still lead by 38. They certainly learn an awful lot from the PBA Tour, don't they? Taking their time, concentration.
Many of the styles, too, you can see where they get them from.
Matt Brockert makes the spare, and Arizona State still leads by 38. And we'll be back with more of the National Collegiate Championships right after this message.
We have with us Alberta Crow, the president of the Women's International Bowling Congress, a longtime past president of the National Bowling Council, and a member of Bowling's Hall of Fame and Museum. Alberta, can you tell us some of the things that are happening with the newly to be erected Hall of Fame?
Yes, I'm very pleased to, Chuck. In fact, about 3 years ago, we had a dream that all of bowling should have a National Bowling Hall of Fame and Museum. And at that time, we formed various committees, and we adopted and incorporated our organization, adopted bylaws, and we started the ball rolling with contributions from all over. It's very gratifying to know that this beautiful Bowling Hall of Fame will be erected here soon. In fact, contracts have already been let, and we will have this beautiful building on the largest triangle opposite Busch Stadium, and the construction is...
Excuse me, Alberta, by here, of course, we both mean St. Louis, and it's only a couple of blocks from the Arch, I understand.
Oh yes, it's only 6 blocks from the Arch, and it's right next door to Busch Stadium, and we're very, very pleased. In fact, Chuck, I would also like to tell you that the Anheuser-Busch just recently announced that they are contributing $1.5 million toward the construction of this beautiful new building. We're very pleased with that, and we're very pleased with all the contributions that have come in from all over the country, from our men and women and youngster bowlers. It's been fantastic, the way that contributions are pouring in.
Well, everybody in bowling is looking forward to it, and we know you've been one of the spearheads since this started.
Thank you, Chuck.
I'd like to remind you that ESPN brings you North American Soccer League play Saturday live all season long. You'll see such powers as the champion Cosmos, Seattle Sounders, Fort Lauderdale Strikers, Chicago Sting, and the Tampa Bay Riley's. NASL Soccer Live each week on ESPN. But here at the National Collegiate Bowling Championships, we're going to our finals. You're looking at the Lady Lions from Penn State University. They're going to face Arizona State, who defeated Indiana State. You just saw that, 184 to 182. And right now, let's meet the Lady Lions.
Michelle Citro, senior, Hazleton, Pennsylvania.
Jerry Edwards, freshman, Madison, Illinois. Liz Bowdy, senior, Denver, Colorado.
April Long, junior, Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Audrey Hitchar, sophomore, Whitehall, Pennsylvania.
Jill Cadwright, sophomore, Media, Pennsylvania.
Don Farrell, coach, State College, Pennsylvania.
Well, Chuck, what do you think of this match?
Penn State is probably the best women's team in the country. They recently won the AMF Invitational, and they are the team to beat. They are a solid.
And that's their coach, Don Farrell, by the way.
He's a very confident, very soft-spoken type coach. Most of the coaches are rather emotional. He is.
I want to ask you a question. Is that now Arizona State has been out there already for one match. Is that going to be a big advantage for them?
Big advantage. They're used to the lights now. They're used to the lanes a bit. Penn State has been practicing on the pair, but the TV exposure is the big thing. That's a big advantage for Arizona State.
You got it.
And I think Arizona State, here you're looking at it right now, really ought to be pumped up because it's amazing. We mentioned earlier, their men are in the finals too against West Texas State.
And it's never happened. No two teams from the same school have ever won. First time they've had a chance.
That's Arizona State, who was behind most of the way against Indiana State, just eking it out 184 to 182. Girls are going to practice a little bit right now. That's Debbie Lister stepping up. Michelle Citro for Penn State. By the way, the Penn State women have been bowling since 1962. And as the girls are warming up, we'll be back in just a moment. This is Penn State. They have to be the favorites there. They won the championship in 1979 and took third place in 1980. There's their huddle. I don't know if Don Farrell's talking to them or not. They've been bowling, by the way, as I mentioned, since 1962. And Arizona State came into the finals defeating Indiana State 184 to 182. But certainly, Chuck, as I mentioned, I would say that the Lady Lions are the favorites.
Yes, they're the most consistent team, and it's probably the best balanced team. And they do bowl in much competition.
That is Michelle Citro leading off, a 21-year-old senior from Hazleton, Pennsylvania. Michelle, it's interesting what she's studying, administration of justice. Hopes to go into law enforcement. She started bowling with her father when she was 5 years old, and her highest average to date is 180.
This is a difficult spare, but this is one of the pros detest the most because you have many ways of chopping. She covered it beautifully.
Maybe she ought to be a pro. Not much excitement after them converting that spare. Now this is Debbie Lister for Arizona State. These are both enormous universities. Arizona State has 40,000 students. Penn State University has 33,000.
What do you say? What do you say?
One of her teammates yelled Goober. That's her nickname. And Goober comes through with a strike. Later she wants to be a lawyer.
All right, Jay, let's see.
Good, smooth approach. Doesn't have much of a knee bend, but she gets the ball out between the second and third arrows, goes in solidly between the 1 and 3.
And there she is, Debbie Lister. And now we go to Jerry Edwards for Penn State.
Reverse pin action on that. Usually the 5 goes down, then the 7. The 7 went down first, came back and hit the 5.
Way to get it out. Way to go. Way to go. That's it.
Getting ready now for Arizona State is Michelle Sullivan. Gotta come in.
That's known as 9 and a wiggle. That would have given them a 10-pin lead. Now she needs a spare to keep the game even.
Good ball, babe. Real good ball.
Michelle comes from a bowling family, looking at that 10-pin. Her father at age 73 is an avid bowler, and I hope he's watching. She's from Springfield, Oregon, a senior, majoring in physical education. Good all-around athlete.
All even at the end of two.
Oh, there you go. 15 of those. Oh, yeah. That's it. Same deal.
And stepping up now for the Lady Lions is Liz Bowdy from Denver, Colorado.
Just started.
All right. Her highest bowling average is a good one, 195. She's bowled a 278 game, Chuck. It's even Steven as we're going into the third frame.
Nice and easy. Settle in. Settle in. Okay, way to go.
And that puts Penn State ahead by about 10 points. And here's the replay of that solid strike.
She knows this one is good all the way, but watch her reaction as that ball goes down there. Perfect line all the way down. Trajectory is just perfect.
Very pleased, Lady Lions. And stepping up right now for Arizona State, Teresa Coates, an 18-year-old freshman. A lot of pressure for her. Team behind by 10 pins.
.610 lead.
Stay clean now. Pull it up.
12-pin difference now. Arizona trailing by 12 pins. They got off to a quick lead in their previous match. Now we're going to see if they can come from behind.
Comes from a bowling family like so many of the girls here. Wonderful family sport.
Yeah, the thing is, Bud, that practically 1 out of 3 families bowl, so practically everybody comes from a bowling family.
No spare. Atta girl.
Very nice.
Atta girl.
Teresa Coates converts the spare. And so Penn State leads at the end of free frames by about 10 pins. We'll be back with more of the finals in just a moment.
Yeah.
Lots of excellent auto racing each Wednesday evening on ESPN in 1981. There's IMSA racing, USAC sprint, midget stock car racing, NASCAR spectacles like the Carolina, Virginia, and Winston 500-mile races. Bob Jenkins and Larry Newber are your hosts each Wednesday evening for Auto Racing 81 on ESPN. As we look at the Lady Panthers, we go into the fourth frame, leading by 10 pins. And coming up will be April Long. April's from Wind Gap, Pennsylvania. A junior, her major, rehabilitation education. And she too comes from a bowling family. She started in junior league at age 6. Her first chance.
6-10, the only problem here is the possibility of chopping the 6 from the 10. This is a very consistent team, but they know how to move on the lanes and know how to adjust for spares, and they all have a good strike line and a good reach with the ball. So they're either well schooled or they've had a lot of training before they got to college.
And they all look strong. April's favorite bowlers, by the way, pro bowlers, are Earl Anthony and Mark Roth.
Very popular duo.
Oh, and that's going to cost them.
Right.
Open frame.
Brings the game back to even.
For the Lady Lions. Now a tremendous opportunity for Judy Shaw coming up for Arizona State.
A strike here in Arizona State will take a 2-pin lead.
Judy's a senior. Her highest average is 180.
Come on. Fire it out.
5-7 split, a typical lead when the ball is going away from the pocket. This is not one of the more difficult ones. She'll have to hit the 5-pin on the right side, slide the pin across to hit the 7. The big pressure here, Bud, is the fact that every one of them knows they're an integral part of a team. Individual bowling, if you lose, you lost yourself. Here you may lose for 4 other people and your school. And it puts
She just walked away from that. Judy knew she'd missed it. Gives the Lady Lions a big break. Now we're coming up to their anchor persons, I guess you'd call them. This is Audrey Hitchar, 19-year-old sophomore. She's had a 729 series. Didn't like that. She knew it was outside the line all the way.
She left herself a bundle there. Now this one is extremely tough.
Looks very mature for a 19-year-old.
She'll try to get the ball on the Brooklyn side here, Bud. Hit every pin with the ball. That's the safest way to do it. You can also make it by mistake from the right when the pin action is good for you. Nope, too much to the right.
And another break. Sort of giving it back and forth here.
Come on, babe. Loosen up. Come on, listen.
Now we come up to the anchor for the Arizona State Sun Devils. This is Patty Bowie, first time up. And it's all even. This is the bottom of the 5th.
She made this. All she needs is a mark to keep the score even. At the end of 5, we're all even. Patty looks like a good choice for an anchor girl because in the previous game she got the mark that won the game for Arizona State.
And now they switch lanes. And here's the slow-mo once again, Chuck.
Perfect hit.
Or let me say the strike once again. Now we start all over again. This is Michelle Citro. Ooh, what happened there? That really is the first bad ball I've seen Penn State throw.
Yes, it seemed that Michelle was afraid she was going to poke it up to the nose, and she threw the ball away from the pocket, and the ball skidded to the right.
And the coach, very wisely, immediately comes out.
I think he's probably just trying to calm her down now. There's nothing he can really tell her. She knows what she has to do.
She looked as if she was really upset, and he was very smart, came up and said a few words to try and calm her down.
She needs a strike hit here to carry this spare. Very light, leaves the 2-5.
The pressure's really getting on these girls, as good as they are. They've had 3 open frames in the world, Penn State.
Okay, here we go. Come on.
Now Arizona State really has a chance as they lead off with Debbie Lister. She had a strike.
If she gets another strike here, Bud, she can increase their lead to 22 pins, which can be considerable.
Here it is once again, that last ball.
Notice how the ball veers off to the right and just skids off to the right. She was lucky to carry 6 pins on that hit.
That was a tough break for Michelle Citro. Michelle Citro, right, that is. House, big crowd is really quiet, realizing the tension here. It's Debbie Lister. Her team leads by 12. How about it?
Could have been, and yet she was lucky to get 9.
Wouldn't bother.
Brooklyn hit, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Still keeps the game close. If she makes the spare, it'll be a 12-pin difference. Penn State is actually lucky to still be in the game after 3 open frames.
That's it. That's it.
Debbie wasn't ready. Wisely went back. Tried off her hand. No problem there. So Arizona State takes the lead of 12 pins. And we'll be back with more of the finals right after this message. And there is Arizona State looking at the scoreboard. They look very serious. They lead by 12 pins.
But we have Jerry Edwards and Liz Bowdy coming up. They both had strikes for Penn State in their first tries.
This is Jerry Edwards from Madison, Illinois. 18 years old. Boy, the pressure's on this ball.
She'll settle for 9, leaves a 6-pin. She was high. Penn State seems to be bowling a bit faster than they normally do. They seem to be going to line a bit faster.
Her highest average has been 189. She's a freshman in pre-med, plans to go into research. Maybe into pro bowling, too.
That breaks the string of 3 open, so that should give them a little encouragement.
And Arizona State still maintains that 12-pin lead. This is Michelle Sullivan. Had a spare, left the 10 in the second frame. As we mentioned, once again, this is a very unusual format. They only get to bowl 2 frames, 1 on each lane.
Toughest type of team bowling there is.
And that'll help Arizona State.
The man who invented this system is Frank Baker. Okay, here she comes here. Now again, a good arm swing. She's solid at the line. No question about it. Solidly in the pocket. No hesitation on any of the pins.
And I think she knew it. There she is.
One more ball. We go.
Michelle Sullivan.
Come on, Liz, right now.
Here's Liz Bawdy. Penn State really getting in the hole. Liz got a strike the last time she was up.
Give it a shot. All right, almost.
9 hit, cross hit, Brooklyn.
Stay with it.
13 pins, still very close. The key could be the next shot because Arizona State is working on a strike. They can increase that lead to 23 pins, providing that Liz makes the spare here.
I'm sure she's well aware of it.
She sure is.
Tension's really building here. Be a big surprise if the Lady Lions lose.
Notice how she
Heavily
takes a
favored.
good deep breath. That's a good tip for any bowler to do. Whenever it's attention time, just take a deep breath.
For any sport.
Okay, baby.
She's got it.
There you go.
Like Arizona State came over and congratulated them too. That was Teresa Colts who congratulated Liz Bawdy. She's the 18-year-old freshman. And it's the bottom of the 8th. Sun Devils leading by 13.
Brooklyn.
Keeps the margin the same. If she packs this spare, it'll still be 13 pins with 2 frames to go. Should we have a tie, Bud, they would re-roll the 9th and 10th frames. That means the 4th and 5th bowlers would roll again.
I presume the other 2 strongest bowlers normally, aren't they? 4 and 5.
Yes, I would think that most coaches have put their best bowlers in the 4th and 5th spots.
Just for that reason.
Yes.
The tie, there'd be the 22 best bowlers in there.
And plus the fact that the anchor can get a double in the final frame.
Does she have this one?
Whoops.
A sigh of relief from Teresa Colts then. And Arizona State maintains their 13-pin lead as we go into the 9th. Stepping up is David Long.
Ball was coming back.
Teresa Colts, some of her other teammates. It is tight. Leaves the 10.
That was a good shot in a clutch situation. She didn't carry the 10, but she gave it a good try. Now she'll have to hold this spare. This is very important for Penn State.
There's another big deep breath. I wouldn't be surprised if their coach Don Farrell is really good. I've told the girls they take that big deep breath, because you notice Liz Baudy did it too prior to converting that spare, which you mentioned. He has that.
Great shot.
And it's still 14 pins now, goes up one.
Penn State has a possible 181. Arizona State still has a potential 200 game if the Judy and Patty Bowie can come up with strikes.
And this is Judy Shaw, number 4 bowler.
What do you say?
Oh!
Yeah! All right.
Make it very difficult for Penn State now.
Now the pressure's on Penn State. However, if Audrey can come up with a double here, then the pressure would go back to Arizona State.
And it's their anchor bowler coming up, Audrey Hitchar. She was open.
She missed a head pin last time up. She left 4 pins. I'm sure she'll make sure she's up on the head pin this time.
Yep, she is.
Leaves a baby split. She must fit it between these two to make it. Best they can do now, but is 169, and Arizona State does not even need a mark to win. So unless Arizona State does something really drastic like fouling or something like that, they are the champions.
Well, since you covered this so closely, that's a big surprise, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Good spare.
Oh!
Beautiful.
Boy, is that a pressure ball.
Just according to the book.
That's showing a lot of courage.
Sure is. It's not too much to expect Patty Bowie to get enough to win this game, but stranger things have happened. If she gets 7 pins, she could lose the game. She got 7 and then missed the 3 completely, provided Audrey gets all 10 here.
So they have 167 for the Lady Lions.
Boils down to
Arizona
this.
State goes ahead by 17.
Boils down to this. Patty Bowie needs 7 pins on 2 balls.
And here she is from Glendale, Arizona. The national team championship on this ball. As Chuck just said, she needs 7 and 2.
That's enough. They are the national champions. Yes, it is. No matter what happens, they're the champions.
And Arizona State has upset Penn State. Penn State won the 79 Nationals here, took 3rd place last year, and will be 2nd this year.
That's a pretty good 3-year record.
It certainly is. I think what really helped Arizona State was that win over Indiana State being out there, because then Penn State had to come in totally cold.
Must have given them a big mental lift.
He's got it! And Arizona State are the national collegiate champions, defeating Penn State 167 till we have another ball that doesn't make much difference to 180 something.
She can get another 184 game. They had 184 the first game. Can get another 184 with this ball.
Panning the large crowd here, very disappointed girls in Penn State in blue. Finish off in style. Doesn't make much difference. 180, 167, 180. So the national champions, coached by Terry Nienaber, defeat, or upset you might say, the Penn State Lady Lions. Tremendous amount of sportsmanship here. I know it is disappointing. The Lady Lions are trying to smile, but you can register their disappointment. And look at those Sun Devils. They're mighty happy. 180 for Arizona State. Penn State 167. And coming up, by the way, we have West Texas State University against who in the men's finals? Arizona State University. Hey, congratulations there, Sun
Thank
Devil.
you.
Nice
Thank you.
going,
Thank you.
Terry.
Thank
Come
you.
on, get around this way, will you? Get around this way. Yeah, there we are. What did you think one of the main reasons was that your girls were out there had that tight match with Indiana State and they were warmed up and loose?
Winning that one was a big boost. We thought we had lost it. They gave it back to us, and then we knew we could do it from there. You can't look the gift horse in the mouth twice. You know, you got to go for it.
How do you think? Do you think being warmed up, it upset the Penn State gals coming in cold or not? We got a little emotion here. People crying. I don't blame you. It's just a great win. What do you think?
Well, I don't know if it hurt them any, but it really helped us because, like me, I wasn't really lined up in the first game, and I had a chance to throw in the other warm-up balls. I had a chance to kind of move, and so did some of the other girls, and we figured out the lanes better.
In other words, if you had your choice again, would you rather be in the semifinals and go on to the finals and be the You know what?
No,
hey,
no.
congratulations.
It's over again.
Now we have your men coming up. Think they can do it?
Yeah!
I knew that was coming up. We have that final coming up. We'll have more bowling in just a moment. Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you very
Number
much.
1.
Yes!
Thank you, bud.
And now it's the men's finals. That's West Texas State University looking at in white against Arizona State University. Arizona State was the third qualifier, but earlier they defeated Hillsborough Community College of Tampa in the semis, 222 to 158. Okay, West Texas State University was the number 1 seed. Let's meet the team.
Tommy Huey, graduate, San Francisco, California.
Mike Betke, a junior from Waco, Texas.
Mike Stout, Jr., Chicago, Illinois.
Steve Martin, junior from Great Falls, Montana. Bud Lovell, senior from Wilmington, Delaware.
Colin Weaver, graduate, Canyon, Texas.
Bill Passons, the coach from Amarillo, Texas.
This is West Texas State University. Leading off is Tommy Huey, 23 years old from San Francisco. Leaves himself a tough spare right off the bat.
That's a washout. The 1-2-4-10. What he must do here is cover the 1-2-4, driving the 1 off on the 10.
As I mentioned, West Texas State University, excuse me, is coached by Bill Passons. They've been bowling there since 1970. This is Tommy Huey just up. Pretty tough spare. Oh, very nice. Great comeback by Tommy Huey.
And a goal. Good shot. Good shot, Daddy. Good shot.
One ball, Matt. Come on.
That's their coach, Bill Passons there. Very excited about it.
Good shot, buddy.
And now we come up to Matt Brockert, a junior majoring in physical education. Remember, Arizona State got there by defeating Hillsborough Community College 222 to 158. Extremely quiet here now.
All right, bring it out, bring it out, bring it out. All right, bring it out.
2-4-5, another difficult split.
Let's go, buddy,
Just
let's
try
go.
to key in on
Let's spare.
the 2-pin there so he doesn't chop off either the 4 or the 5. Arizona State here trying for the first double championship, men and women.
In case you just joined us, the Arizona State women defeated Penn State 181 to 167. Now Matt for the spare. Good bowler. He's had 2 700 series.
Perfect shot. The sound you heard, if you heard it, was the ball rolling a bit over the holes. Makes no difference. He had the shot keyed right in.
Conversion and 2 good spares.
I'm sure they don't want to shoot those 2 spares again.
Now it's West Texas State University. Their number 2 man, Mike Betke, who's 22-year-old from Waco, Texas. His highest bowling average has been 215.
This is a more mature team. Everyone is over 20 years of age.
Get in there, ball.
Pretty good ball. Leaves the 4-7-9.
Slide it over now.
It was
Slide it
aggravating
over.
splits because you think it's a good ball. It's not easy. He will have to slide the 4 over to take out the 9.
Nice stylist.
Yes.
Did you think?
I'm impressed by all of them, but you can see they have the basics and they know what they're doing.
Well, he's been doing it for a long while. His mother took him to a bowling center many years ago.
He'll try to just slice the 4-pin into the 9. Go across the lane. Very deliberate.
Second frame, it's all tied.
Let it go. Let it go. Take it off now. Take it off.
That puts Arizona State ahead by 14.
Getting back to what we mentioned before, Arizona State does have the advantage of having been on TV a game already.
This is Scott Milne, the number 2 man for Arizona State. Solid ball.
Come on. You can do it. Get started.
Of course, a lot of the Arizona State ladies are yelling for their team. And now we have West Texas State coming up. This is Mike Stout.
I believe this is the first lefty we've seen, isn't it?
I think in the finals it is. He's 21 years old.
Very difficult spare.
Bring it back now.
We might mention how the other teams came out while they were here, Chuck.
Okay, in the men's division, we had Sinclair Community College.
Well, before we do that, let's take another look at this ball.
All right, what he does here, but he gets the ball out a little too wide. It tries to get back, but it just doesn't get back enough, and he leaves the head pin in the cluster there. He'll try to cover them all with the ball.
Come here.
They got it. Now what about those other clubs?
Okay, Sinclair Community College finished 4th. Penn State men finished 5th. Wichita State men, the leading team ranked number 1 in the country, finished 6th in the men's division. In the women's division, it was Georgia, West Texas State University, and SUNY Buffalo. That's the State University of New York, finishing in the top 6 in each division.
This is Merle Serra, freshman, 19 years old, studying history.
Okay, safe shot. Whenever you leave the 5-pin, you feel happy because many times you could leave the 7 with it. If he makes this spare, his team will have a 14-pin lead.
He still has that habit, which you saw in the semifinals, of swinging that ball down before he starts.
The National Bowling Council supports this tournament and has a strong commitment to college bowling. It's actively promoted this area through its constant support of this tournament.
Didn't take too much time for converting that spare. So Arizona State leads by 14 points. We finished 3 frames over West Texas State. We'll be back in just a moment. I'd like to remind you that it's Power and Speed each Tuesday as ESPN brings you full contact karate, an incredible punishing sport.
This is Roger Dawkins, the man who is in charge of all the collegiate activities in the country, does a great job. Right next to him, Ted Kriegel, proprietor here at Tropicana. We'd also like to thank Keith Satter of the National Bowling Council, Betsy Montoya, and Ray Nelson.
This is Steve Martin for West Texas State. They're trailing by 14 points.
Good ball.
Steve Martin says he wants to be a pro bowler, Bud. There's a great pro bowler by the name of Steve Martin, so he's following the right tracks.
What we needed.
And if they can't bowl, they can tell jokes, I guess.
That'll even things up quite a bit. There's Steve. And getting ready right now is Warren Eels. There he is, from Golden Valley, Minnesota, for Arizona State.
$13 pins difference, completing the 4th frame here.
amazing how many people bowl. You know, that some 72 million Americans went bowling last year. 10 million bowl every week. Such a great family sport. Warren has the spare.
Come on, buddy, boy. Come on, buddy.
Now the difference is still 13 pins with Arizona State leading.
However, West Texas State is on a strike. A strike here can even up the game.
And this is their anchor man, Bud Lovell, 23-year-old from Wilmington, Delaware. He's a senior. Excellent bowling average. His highest ever has been 225. How about it?
Almost left to 4-9 and almost got a strike. It was one of those in-between shots. Could have went either way. It was a key shot, but they still remain only 13 pins behind. Plenty of room to go.
They both left the same spare.
Just remember that this is team bowling. Each bowler only gets the ball. One frame on each lane. Very difficult. Totally dependent upon each other.
I don't know what you think about in between. Must be hard to control yourself, I would think.
Let it go, buddy boy.
He has it.
Let it go.
So it's still 13 pins
Let it go.
as they go to the bottom of the fifth. And it's the anchor now for Arizona State, leading by 13.
He
Gary
impresses
Blatchford.
me, Bud. He impresses me. He seems like he's a very serious bowler, this Blatchford.
Well, his highest tournament average has been 233.
I'll take that anytime.
And his league average has been 207.
He uses the Carmen Salvino swing there in the beginning of his approach. Have to be very strong to do that.
He's got it.
Solid ball.
Come on, Tommy. Come on, Food. Come on now.
Watch his approach here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Solid the line, slight knee bend, gets the ball between second and third arrow, stays right in the pocket there.
And now we go back to Tom Huey, change lanes.
Just carried that tempo.
West Texas State is hanging in there, trailing by 13.
Now it's Arizona State's chance to add 10 points to the lead, 10 pins.
One ball, Matt. One ball. Give me a shot, buddy.
Now we have Matt Brockett, who had a spare in his first frame, his first shot at the lanes. Now we switched over, as I mentioned. How about it? Across the lanes. That's a two-bagger, and Arizona State increases their lead to 23 points, and they really are excited, are the Sun Devils. And we'll have the conclusion of this National Collegiate Championship right after this message.
Come on now.
Stepping up for West Texas State, trailing by 23.
Can get back 10 here with a strike, and they need it badly.
This is Mike Betke for West Texas State. It's the seventh frame. His team trails by 23 to the outside.
Too far out, leaves a 1-2-4.
Bring it back.
Last shot of the season.
Bring it back.
Also not the easiest spare. Must cover these 3 pins, keep his team in the ball game.
It'd be amazing if Arizona State wins, because the girls have already won. Defeated Penn State 181 to 167. It'll be the first time that they've both done it.
First time in history. And this is the 7th national championship.
This is his 7th frame. Very nice spare by Mike Betke.
Last ball here. Come on.
And it's still 23 points. Or pins.
Good shot, buddy. Good shot. Right here.
Scott Milne now for Arizona State. He had a strike in the second frame.
Looks good, looks good.
Triple. He can't do more for his team than 2 strikes.
Come on now.
Love it.
That increases Arizona State's lead, the Sun Devils' lead, to 33 pins.
Arizona State does not have an open frame in their 2
Come on,
games.
Mike.
They have now
Come
gone
on now.
17 consecutive frames with all strikes or spares, which is really great bowling.
Mike Stout from Melrose Park, Illinois. A junior majoring in computer management.
The only southpaw in the finals.
Looks good. Let's go.
Fine ball.
Let's go.
One ball here.
Gotta go.
Come on now. This is your last ball in the season here.
And the bowling buffs, as they're called from West Texas State, are hanging in there. Now the number 3 man for Arizona State is Merle Serra. He had a spare in the 3rd. And that increases the lead to 43 pins for Arizona State. We're going into the 9th frame.
Not only is Arizona State looking to make it a unique double, they could have the highest game ever recorded on TV in this system. Previous record is 236, and they're well within that range.
Here's Mike Stout.
This is a
spared
must.
in the 3rd.
This is a must strike, but their best is 260.
That is Steve Martin, excuse me.
Get in there. No.
Leaves a 2-4-5, and it
Didn't
looks like
it.
Arizona State.
Bring it back, Steve.
No, I'm sorry, this is Mrs. Steve Martin.
Let it go.
Arizona State going for a record game, possible 259. Unless they, again, trip on the way to the foul line, it looks like they have the championship locked up.
This is Warren Eels. He's spared in the 4th.
There. Run it down, buddy.
One more ball and it'll be all over. If he makes this spare, Arizona State cannot lose.
That'll be amazing, as we mentioned. Sun Devils copying not only the women's championship, their girls defeated Penn State, but also winning the men's. She mentioned it's the first time it's ever been done.
Tempe's going to be a hot town tonight.
Got it. Come on, bud. Punch out.
So, Chuck, there's nothing Western Texas State can do about it now.
Nothing
West
they
Texas
can do.
State.
Right now, the only possibility is if Arizona State guttered the remaining balls and West Texas State went all the way, then it would be a tie.
This is their anchor man, Bud Lovell.
He's going to give it his all.
He's spared in the 5th.
Let it go, buddy.
Let's go out in style.
Let it go.
Tie is still a possibility.
One more
What's
now.
going to happen? I wouldn't like the odds on it, but
Well,
West
they can't
Texas
catch
State-
him again, eh?
no, they can tie them if the Arizona State anchorman threw two gutter balls. If he got 2 strikes, it would be a tie, and we cannot declare an official winner until it's officially over.
It's the bet I'd like to take on Arizona State.
Oh boy, real gamble. That's a pretty good game. Possible in the 196. That's a fine game in this type of competition.
It'll be a 190 something. I'd like to see an athlete really finish off in style like Bud is doing here. He holds 5 sanctioned 300 games, and he has one 299 game. He's had an average as high as 225, so he's a heck of a bowler.
He looks it too. He rolls that ball well.
And he does roll a ball. 196. The West Texas State University.
Gary Blatchford must keep the ball on the lane to win.
That's all the anchorman has to do. They really have it won unless he does as you mentioned.
Right.
Just throws them both away. With an average of 233 for a tournament, I doubt if he's going to do it.
That's it.
He's in there. Oh, he's going out. They've got it made.
One more, Gary. Come on, come on. There's another one. Come on.
How many strikes they pick up there? 6 strikes so far for Arizona State.
He needs 2 more strikes, but to tie the record for a TV game, 236.
So the Sun Devils have made a sweep here for the National Collegiate Bowling Championships. The girls
Tremendous
defeated Penn
bowling.
State.
2 great games they rolled.
181 to 167. And it's going to be 2-something to 196 over West Texas State for the men. And both anchormen are finishing off in style. It'll be at 2:30 something.
Tell him.
It's incredible how many teams competed in this from all over the country, and to have the colleges come back like Arizona State University, I'm saying, and win both divisions.
That shows something to their athletic and bowling program. 235.
235, and there they go out. All Sun Devils congratulating each other as Arizona State, the men's team, defeats West Texas State 235. All right. Love it. And the women's team 181 to 167 by the Sun Devils from Arizona.
Thank you.
This is Bernie Rudo, president of the National Bowling Council, presenting the medals to the victorious Arizona State Sun Devils. First to the #1 man, Matt Brockhart, Scott Milne. There's Merle Serra, Warren Eels, the anchor man, Gary Blatchford. And the blonde there is the substitute, Jay Miller. And finally to the winning coach is Tony Maresca. He gets the plaque. As the Arizona State Sun Devils defeated West Texas State 222 to 158, which is most unusual. The women also won a double, which is unprecedented in National Collegiate Bowling history.